All right, baseball fans, it is game time as the 64 begins tonight, and it starts in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium in New York, home of the 1927 New York Yankees. Considered by many to be the greatest of all time, tonight we put that team to the test, that title to the test. 1927 Yankees taking on the 1959 LA Dodgers. LA not so long ago, in fact, just a couple years removed from moving over from New York, as they've settled in on the West Coast. And now the Dodgers trying to do the unthinkable and take down the 1927 New York Yankees. So it's a 1 versus 16 matchup at Yankee Stadium. The 64 begins right now from New York. And the Pinstripers against the boys in blue. Packed house at Yankee Stadium. Let's get to it. 2-2 pitch on the way from George Pipgriss, and he gets Jim Gilliam on a strike 3. And that's how that game will start. So Gilliam goes down on strikes, and Pipgriss settles in. So much talk about the 1927 Yankees order, and we'll be introducing you to that offensive lineup in a moment. Oh, my. We need to get an update here, folks. We're playing in 1927 New York. You know what that means? We got to turn on the filter. Almost. That's more like it. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about. This is why you want to get out of the Park 25 so you can turn on this. Good old black and white television, 1927 New York Yankees and the 1959 LA Dodgers. Maury Wills will now step in. Fantastic shortstop. Maury, a little later on in his career, would be one of baseball's best at stealing a bag or two, including an impressive 104 swipes in 1962. But this year, as a spry 27-year-old, just 7 steals in 10 attempts. Maury Wills at the plate against George Pipgriss. This one is grounded to the shortstop. As Wills is retired, Koenig throws across the diamond, 2 down. That brings up Duke Snider. You'll always have a conversation in the 50s and 60s. Who's the greatest center fielder in baseball? Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, Duke Snider. 3 names synonymous with one another in the late 50s and early 60s. Duke Snider at the plate, a .308 average in this 1959 campaign. 23 home runs, .308 average. Up against George Pipgriss. First pitch on the way, Duke is swinging. He pops this up to shallow center field. And in fact, this will stay on the infield dirt. It's caught by the shortstop Koenig. And the Dodgers go quietly in the first. We head to the bottom of 1 at Yankee Stadium. And welcome back. We introduce you to the Murderer's Row that is the 1927 New York Yankees. Hall of Famers abound. Tony Lazzeri will lead off. Earl Combs batting second. In the 3 spot tonight will be Lou Gehrig. Batting fourth, the Bambino, Babe Ruth. Ben Pascal, the 5-hitter, followed by Pat Collins, Mark Koenig, Joe Dugan, the 3rd baseman, batting 8th, and the starting pitcher, George Pipgriss, batting 9th. Now, the 27 Yankees face a tall order as they take on Don Drysdale. Drysdale, 270 innings pitched in 1959, not quite at his peak just quite yet. That would be a different story in the 1960s for him. But right now, Don Drysdale will get the start against the New York Yankees of 1927. Tony Lazzeri, your leadoff man. First at bat for the Yankees in what figures to be a long run if they do what people think they will do here in the 64. Fly ball into no man's land, and this one will be caught. Second baseman is there. That is Neal. Charlie Neal, a Gold Glover, ranging over to make the grab. Now, of course, you will notice a nice little porch out in right field. If Earl Combs can get a hold of one, he would be the beneficiary of a round tripper. Earl Combs batting from the left side, known as the Kentucky Colonel. 6 home runs in 1927 to go with a .356 batting average. Never cracked double digits in home runs, but a lifetime .325 hitter. Here's your 1-1 to Combs. Combs grounds this down the line. It is fielded cleanly by the first baseman. Hodges makes the play, and there are 2 down. Gil Hodges over at first base tonight. Now it's Lou Gehrig. The Iron Horse, .373 average in 1927 with 47 home runs and a preposterous 175 runs driven in. Bases empty, 2 out. 2-1 from Drysdale to Gehrig. Gehrig lifts a fly ball to left. This one is going to be caught, and that will do it. 2070 Yankees retired in order at the end of one. Were scoreless between 1927 New York and 1959 LA. All right, welcome back here to Yankee Stadium. It is the 64. It's a best-of-7 series. The Yankees will send Wally Moon to the plate. Or excuse me, the Dodgers will send Wally Moon to the plate. Wally is a cleanup hitter. Double digits in doubles, triples, and home runs in 1959. .302 hitter. Had 15 steals as well. Well-rounded player. And a pretty darn good outfielder as well. He's got all the tools. And an OPS of .890, a career high for him in 1959. He would best that 2 years later in 1961. His best season. A lot of best seasons coming in 1961. Of course, the great home run chase of 1961. And that chase would actually begin with a guy who is out in left field. That would be Babe Ruth, who set the mark in 1927. 60 home runs, and then that fateful summer of 1961, the M&M boys, who are also in this tourney. 1961 New York Yankees are in the field. And we will be checking the out-of-town scoreboard in just a moment. Wally Moon to lead off for the Dodgers in inning number 2. George Pipgras. His pitch is grounded to the first baseman. Lou Gehrig scoops it up, throws to the covering pitcher, who steps on the bag, and there's 1 down. That brings up Gil Hodges. Hodges, the first baseman, .276 average in 1959, 25 home runs, bringing his career mark to .345. That number would finish at .370, 1959, marking Gil's final full season as a starter. After that, relegated to backup duty. Gil Hodges to bat now for the first time in the 64. Pitch on the way from Pipgras. Fly ball, right center field. This is going to be tough, and laying out, making the grab is Combs, and he steals away a base hit. Combs with an instant SportsCenter top 10 play. Another look here as he lays out and makes a diving grab, stealing away extra bases and a base hit. So Hodges is retired, and here comes Johnny Roseboro. .232 average in 1959. And here's the 0-1 Roseboro with a fly ball to center field. And the pinstripe uniform will stay clean this time. 1-2-3. Dodgers go quietly again in the second. We go to the bottom of 2 in the Bronx. And now it's Babe Ruth to lead off in the second. His first plate appearance of the 64. 64 greatest baseball teams of all time in a 2-month-long tourney. It's going to take a while to see which way the dust is going to settle, but a lot of people already getting ready to crown these 1927 New York Yankees, regarded by many as the greatest team in Major League Baseball history. 2-2 on the way from Drysdale. It's a curveball. It's flown out to right field, and that one is gone. Babe Ruth ushers in the 64 with a round tripper, and it's 1-0 Yankees on the Bambino home run. And listen to this crowd. Babe Ruth does what he does best. Hit it far. Take a leisurely stroll around the base paths. 464 feet for those of you who have the measuring tape out. 1-0. 1927 Yankees strike first. If you're curious about the player ratings for Babe Ruth, that would be an 85, off the charts power. That's when you hit 60 home runs in one season. That's what you get. As the crowd settles back into its seats, Ben Pascal now at the plate against Don Drysdale. First hit surrendered is a home run. Slow roller to third, throw across the diamond by Gilliam is in time. 1 down. Now our first look tonight at the Yankee catcher, Pat Collins. First pitch on the way from Drysdale. Collins goes the other way, and that's a base knock to right. This one is going to one hop go off the wall. Collins is heading for second. Throw to second. It is a stand-up double. Collins notches the Yankees' second extra base hit against Don Drysdale. Now Mark Koenig is at the plate. Koenig, in his third year with the Yankees, came over from St. Paul and the American Association. Traded to the Yankees for 3 players and $50,000. 50 grand went pretty far in the year 1927. 1-1 to Koenig. Koenig with a little blooper to center. That's going to find some grass. It's a base hit. They'll wave the runner in. Collins slides head first. Koenig has an RBI single, and the 27 Yankees have opened up a 2-0 lead. All right, Minerva. Shout out to you, my friend. You enjoy. Koenig is on first after that RBI single. That brings up Joe Dugan. Jumping Joe. Best defense at his position in this era. At the plate right now, and he's no slouch as a hitter either. 269 hitter in 1927. Career high 322 average coming back in 1920. Jumpin' Joe jumps on that offering fly ball center field. This one will stay in the confines. Duke Snider camps underneath it and will make the catch. Excuse me, it is Snider's playing out in right, I beg your pardon. It's Demeter is in center field. John Demeter is in center tonight. Koenig on first for the pitcher, George Pipgras. Reminder that DH is not in effect here in the 64. No designated hitter. 2-2. Pipgras looking at a called strike 3. Drysdale gets the strikeout, but the 27 Yankees are on the board at the end of 2. It's the Yankees 2 and the Dodgers nothing. All right, what do you say if we take a look at that out-of-town scoreboard? Quick look at what's going on in the 64 right now. The 1-1 game between the 1902 Pittsburgh Pirates and the 1973 Oakland Athletics. Reggie Jackson going deep for the Swingin' A's. 1-1 in the second inning. The 1997 Florida Marlins. Quick update from Baltimore. The O's have fallen behind 3-0 against the play-in Marlins, who had to win 2 games just to get into the tournament. Kevin Brown is take to a 3-0 lead. That game is just now in the second inning. Also on the out-of-town scoreboard, another Yankees versus Dodgers matchup. This the 1963 LA Dodgers leading the 1928 Yankees 3-0. Sandy Koufax has struck out one so far. 1985 Kansas City Royals upset alert right now in Cincinnati. They're just in the second. And Brett Saberhagen has a 4-0 lead against the Big Red Machine, a 15 versus 2 matchup right now. The 85 Royals leading on the road in Cincinnati in game 1, 4-0. And the year of the pitcher, well, in 1968, well, not a whole lot of pitching so far between the Detroit Tigers of 68 and the New York Giants of 1905. Plenty of scoring in this one. In fact, Bill Dolan has a home run for New York. It's a 3-1 New York lead against Detroit. It's 3-1. That game is in the second inning. And some more 64 games on tap. We'll be updating you throughout the broadcast on what's going on in the rest of the 64. Back to the Bronx right now. We're in the third inning. Charlie Neal will be your leadoff man. It's a 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the Dodger lineup. George Pipgriss wheeling and dealing on 2-2. Sharp ground ball to the second baseman. Lazzari flips over to first. That retires Neal. There's one down. And now Don Demeter at the plate. Don settling in as the new center fielder of choice for the Dodgers as Duke Snider has relinquished that role and moved over to right field. Demeter, a .256 hitter with 18 home runs in 1959. 24-year-old out of Oklahoma. First pitch to Demeter. Double D will ground this to third. Easy play made by jumping Joe Dugan. Throws across the diamond. 2 down. And now the pitcher, Don Drysdale. 4 round trippers in 1959. Against Pipgriss. And he cues a ground ball to the second baseman. Lazzari scoops it up. Throws to first. Side retired. We go to the bottom of the third in New York. The Yankees coming to bat. Tony Lazzari, your leadoff man for the 1927 Yankees. They've already taken a turn through the order. Lazzari now his second plate appearance of the night. Lazzari, who dropped out of school to work with his dad as a boilermaker before making the jump to play baseball. Tell you what, they don't make him like Tony Lazzari anymore. First pitch to Tony. Lazzari flies this to shallow left field. Can accord. Moon will make the catch. 1 down. Now Earl Combs. Combs, the Kentucky Colonel, a gentleman on and off the field. Full count pitch to Combs. Combs grounds this to the right side. 4-3 on your scorecard. 2 down. And now here comes Heinrich Ludwig Gehrig, so known as Lou Gehrig. The Iron Horse has not missed a game in his major league career. 1-0 offering. He flies this to right, and it is caught. We'll have to take another look. Our camera didn't catch that one, but I tell you who did. Take another look right here on your replay. Maybe we won't see it, but Duke Snider made the catch. Can we try one more time? Come on. Third time's a charm. There we go. Duke Snider laying out, making the grab out in right field. What a play by Duke. He could even run through walls in New York. Score remains 2-0. Historical ballparks, guys. Top of the Dodger lineup. We're in the 4th inning. Jim Gilliam, light hitting third baseman, 3 home runs in all of 1959. He did crack double digits in homers back in Brooklyn in 1954. 13 home runs. That was a career high for him. They just want to get him on base. 2-1 from Pipgras. Cues up a base hit. That's the first base hit of the night for LA. The Dodgers have a base runner and a base hit. Jim Gilliam is aboard with the first base hit of the night. Maury Wills now steps in. A lot of speed at the top of this order. He squares to bunt. It's a beaut. Throw to first is not going to be in time. Gilliam to second. And Maury Wills barreling down the line. Able to get not only a sac bunt, but also now an infield base hit. Now the Dodgers are in business. 2 aboard for the Duke. Duke Snider. Silver Fox at the plate with 2 on. Nobody out. Here's your 2-2. As he taps this back to the mound. They'll go to second, and they get him. Pipgras makes the throw. I don't know. I don't know if that throw was in time. Let's take another look here. Pipgras comes off the mound, throws to second. Clearly, he beat him to second base. Gilliam, though, to third on a fielder's choice for Duke Snider. So the Dodgers with runners on the corners. 1 down. Wally Moon at the plate. Moon grounds this to second. This could be 2. No! It's lost by the shortstop. Lazzari's throw to Koenig. Koenig couldn't handle it. Run comes in. Snider to second. And the Dodgers are on the board. One more look. Surefire double play, but he didn't look it in. Koenig with a costly error. Boy, that kind of play can really come back to haunt you. Run comes in. Still just 1 out. Snider to second. Moon to first. Gil Hodges at the plate. Pipgras working from the stretch. This one popped up on the infield. The infield fly rule will be in effect here. 2 down. Here comes the catcher, Johnny Roseboro. 2 on, 2 out. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball, left field. This one will be caught. Ruth makes the catch. Dodgers are on the board. We go to the bottom of the 4th at Yankee Stadium. I appreciate a good Major League quote, Dragon. You threw in Rexy, I really would have given you bonus points on that. Bottom of the 4th, it's a whole new ball game. Dodgers are on the board, trailing by 1. It's 2-1. Now it's Babe Ruth at the plate. Put one out to right. Good 460 feet, his last plate appearance. We'll see what he does here on his second plate appearance. 1-1 from Drysdale to Ruth. Ruth flies this to right. Duke Snider trots in and will make the catch. I don't know. I got a guy on the other line about white walls. Can I call you back? Ben Pascal now at the plate. Drysdale from the windup after a rocky second inning, trying to find his groove. Popped up on the infield. See who calls for this one. It will be the second baseman. Neal will make the catch. Pat Collins, 1 for 1 so far tonight. He's got a 3-0 count, and he will spit on that offering taken for ball 4. Fastball missed the zone. It's a 4-pitch walk. Now Mark Koenig, a costly error at second on a potential inning-ending double play at the plate, trying to right that wrong. Grounds this to the right side, and it's past the second baseman. They'll send the runner to third. He's going to keep running into second and run right into an out. What is he doing? I think that error still in his head as he runs right into second base. And that'll do it. One more look here as we get a ground ball through the right side. Snider's throw to second. Koenig decides he's going to keep on running right in to the outs. Ran right into it. Another runner stranded. We head to the fifth at Yankee Stadium. Best team ever, they said. George Pipgriss still trying to hold on to that 2-1 lead. Bottom of the Dodger order, Neal, Demeter, and Drysdale. Charlie Neal with a lot of speed. 11 triples in 1959. 19 triples to go with it. Infield playing back here. Here's your 0-2 to Neal. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Pipgriss gets the strikeout. His first. It came on a screwball. George Pipgriss, one more look. Look at the movement on that thing. It just died at the end. Neal chased it. That brings up Demeter. Well, we did mention Don Drysdale is on the on-deck circle. We'll talk about his offensive exploits in a moment. From one double D to another, this is Don Demeter. Demeter, an 18 home run campaign in the regular season. As he lines a base hit to left, Babe Ruth will pick it up off the hop and throw it into the infield. It's a one-out single. And now Don Drysdale at the plate. Drysdale, 4 home runs in 1959. 7 round trippers the year before that. Career, 29 home runs for Don Drysdale. He's no slouch. 1-1, Drysdale will try to lay down a bunt. Now that is going to be the interesting part about this 64-team tournament is the advantage or disadvantage of not being able to use the DH, and where now all of a sudden Don Drysdale adds another element when you actually have a capable bat instead of, in a lot of cases, especially the modern day teams where they won't have a capable pitcher to throw into that number 9 spot. Thank you very much, Ezra. So you're saying it's Demeter? Thank you. 1-2 to Drysdale. He'll try to bunt again. He dropped it in foul territory. That is officially a strikeout. So Drysdale down on strikes. Demeter remains on first. Danny D. Smith Jr. is here, our favorite orchestrator. Jim Gilliam now at the plate. We go back to the top of the Dodger order. There's a ground ball to short. They will get the force at second as Lazzeri steps on the bag. That will do it. We head to the bottom of the fifth. The Yankees of 1927 leading this best-of-7 series in Game 1, 2-1. Joe Dugan will lead off for the 1927 Yankees. Dugan, who went from college of the Holy Cross to the majors and playing for the Philadelphia Athletics and Connie Mack when he came up through the bigs. 269 hitter in 1927. Dugan grounds this to the third base side. And Gilliam scoops it up, throws across for out number 1. George Pipgriss, the pitcher, now at the plate. 1-2 from Drysdale. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Pipgriss goes down on strikes. Drysdale with strikeout number 2. And now to the top of the order we go for the 27 Yankees and Tony Lazzeri. Okay, well, this is the first time I've seen this nickname. Push him up, Tony. Not just push him up, push him up. Push him up, Tony. Tony Lazzeri. Lazzeri, his rookie year in 1926, struck out 96 times. That led the league his rookie year in 1996. Strikeouts down, batting average up, 309 in his sophomore campaign. 1-2, Lazzeri gets a hold of that one, flies it to right. Duke Snider underneath it for out number 3. At the end of 5 in game 1 of the 64, the Yankees still on top 2-1. All right, let's take a look at your out-of-town scoreboard right now as we're halfway through this one. Upset alert in Baltimore. The Marlins of 1997 now open up a 5-1 lead. They're in the 5th in Balmer, where Palmer is having trouble. Gary Sheffield with a home run. Boog Powell with a solo shot. That game is now 5-1 in favor of the Marlins in the 5th. Also, the Pirates of 1902 have taken a 5-2 lead against the 1973 Oakland Athletics. Also of note, Randy Johnson and the 2001 Arizona Diamondbacks shutting out the Philadelphia Athletics 2-0. That game now in the top of the 5th inning. 1969 Baltimore Orioles have taken a sizable 6-1 lead over the 82 St. Louis Cardinals. It's a 5-run lead. All those runs, despite not a single home run so far for the 1969 O's. A tight one in Cincinnati as the Cincinnati Reds, the Big Red Machine, have come storming back. Ken Griffey with a home run now to give the Reds of 76 a 5-4 lead against Brett Saberhagen and the 1985 Kansas City Royals. But the Big Red Machine of 1975 cannot say the same thing. The Houston Astros have taken a 7-2 lead on the road in Cincy. That game is in the 4th inning. A quick update, as they have just gotten on the board again. Cincinnati getting an RBI single from Johnny Bench to bring in Joe Morgan, but that game sits in the favor of the Astros 7-2. That game is in the 4th. And the Battle of the Mets. Doc Gooden has twirled 5 shutout innings so far. Working on inning number 5, I should say. 4 shutout innings so far. Dwight Gooden is on top with his 1986 Mets, leading the 1969 Miracle Mets 3-0. And the San Francisco Giants in trouble against the New York Giants of 1904. Christy Mathewson has an 8-1 lead as Pablo Sandoval is just grounded out. 1904 New York Giants lead it 8-1 in the 4th inning. And just underway, a monster first inning for the number 2 seeded St. Louis Cardinals. 1942 Cards now a 4-0 lead in the first inning in St. Louis against the 2023 World Series champion Texas Rangers. Walker Cooper with a home run in that one to make it 4-0. That is your out-of-town scoreboard. We'll give another check by the end of this game here tonight. Maury Wills leading off. We're in the 6th inning for the 1959 Dodgers. A 2-1 nail-biter against the number 1 overall seed New York Yankees of 1927. Wills is going to leg that one out. It's an infield single. He's done that twice. His first plate appearance was a bunt single in the 1st, and now Wills is on base again. Excuse me, that bunt single was his 2nd at-bat, not first. Wills is on first. Duke Snider now at the plate. 0-2 from Pip Gris. This one skied on the infield. Lazzeri's going to call everybody up. Boy, that thing hung up there for a New York minute. It's actually not a lot of time. Maury Wills stays on first for Wally Moon. First pitch in the dirt. Wills is going to get a free pass to second. The wild pitch. Official ruling. Wills now in scoring position, representing the game time run. Wills on second. Wally Moon at the plate. Hitters count 3-1. He'll take that offering low for ball 4. Moon walks and slides to first. 2 on, 1 out. Gil Hodges hitless through 2 at-bats. Works the count full. 3-2. Low for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. Pipgriss, his first sign of trouble here, trying to hang on to a 1-run lead. Bases full of Dodgers for Johnny Roseboro. Roseboro on the pitch. Fly ball, center field. Runner tagging at third. Throw home. And Wills will score. Sac fly ties it at 2. Dodgers are going to the bench right now. They're going to pinch hit and bring in Norm Larker. Norm, a .289 hitter in 1959. Lefty versus righty matchup. 2 on, 2 out. Pipgriss from the stretch. 3-2 pitch. Runners going. Ball 4. Bases are loaded again. Don Demeter steps up to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 out in the 6th. Go-ahead run just 90 feet away. Pipgriss delivers on the 2-2. And that will fall for a base hit. 1 run will score. They'll wave in a second. And the Dodgers have taken the lead. A 2-run single by Demeter to make it 4-2. Boys in blue. Well, we've got an upset brewing here in the Bronx, folks. A 2-run single by Demeter. Hodges comes in to score, sliding in safely. 4-2 LA. Teddy, why don't you stand up and adjust the V hold? Demeter to first. Larker, the pinch hitter, on second. Don Drysdale. They're not even thinking about taking Drysdale out in a pinch hitting situation. He does have a pretty capable bat. Pipgriss 1-2 pitch to Drysdale. Drysdale lifts a fly ball deep to right field. It's at the track, and it is caught just feet from the right field fence. They leave 2 aboard, but the Dodgers have taken the lead. We head to the bottom of the 6th. It's 4-2 LA. Whew. Okay. Don Zimmer will be the new second baseman as we begin the bottom of the 6th. Earl Combs will be followed by Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth. Earl Combs, legend goes that he played baseball with tree limbs as bats as a young boy. Baseballs made from string and old shoes. Earl Combs now here in the big leagues. And he laces a base hit the other way. Combs is aboard with a leadoff single. Boy, these 27 Yankees will just keep on coming at you. And here comes Lou Gehrig. The Iron Horse led the American League in triples in 1926, then doubles with 52 in total bases and games in 1927. When we say a career year for a guy who's put up some amazing numbers so far, that's saying something, but one of the all-time great seasons in Major League Baseball history. A 1.238 OPS in 1927 for Lou Gehrig. Gehrig against Drysdale. An epic matchup in the 6th. Fly ball, shallow center field. And the shortstop, Wills, makes the play. So Gehrig retired, and here comes Babe Ruth. Ruth, with the towering, gargantuan home run, his first plate appearance of the 64, came back in the second. 3-1 to Babe. Babe's going to get the green light, and he will line out. Diving catch by Wills. What a play. Maury Wills, Gold Glove shortstop, steals away a base knock from Ruth. So the Bambino is retired. A big out for Don Drysdale and the Dodgers. Ben Pascal now at the plate. First pitch to him. Grounds this down the line and fair. Third baseman scoops it up. Gilliam throws across the diamond, and that will do it. Yankees strand a runner, and after 6, it's the Dodgers 4 and the Yankees 2. All right, top of the 7th and top of the Dodger order. Gilliam, Wills, and Snider. Gilliam, 1 hit in 3 at-bats so far. 0-2. Pipgriss jumps off the mound, picks it up off the turf, throws to first, 1 down. Now Maury Wills, his 4th turn through the order. He's got 2 infield singles so far. Wills, slow roller to the pitcher. He will not be able to leg it out this time. Pipgriss's throw is in time. Duke Snider hitless in 3 at-bats with the Dodgers up by 2. A 1-2 pitch. Snider swings and misses. Strike 3, and that will do it here as we head to the bottom of the 7th at Yankee Stadium. 1927 Yankees trailing by 2. And welcome back to Yankee Stadium. Don Drysdale has a 4-2 lead. Drysdale, a 17-game winner in 1959. Career high 242 Ks in that 59 season. Drysdale trying to tame this 1927 order known as the Murderer's Row. He's past the difficult part, but he still has some pretty strong hitters to deal with here, including Koenig, who's on the on-deck circle with an RBI already to his credit. Drysdale from the windup up against Pat Collins. 0-2. Drysdale's pitch is grounded. Slow roller to the second baseman, and he bobbles it. Zimmer, the new second baseman, couldn't get a handle. It's an error. 1 error now on each team. One more look. Don Zimmer coming in. Couldn't field it cleanly. Had he gathered it in time, he would have been able to make that throw. He rushed that transfer. Collins on base. Mark Koenig at the plate. First pitch, he'll square to bunt. It's a good one, folks. The only play will be to first. So Koenig is out. Collins to seconds. And let the Pedro Martinez references rein in here. El Lorenzo, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I am too. We're gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be a great couple months. We're gonna be stretching this thing out over the course of the next 2 months, guys. So you'll be able to see game 1 here tonight. We'll continue this series over on my channel, Dr. Dynastic. We'll be jumping through different first-round series. And then next thing you know, we'll be back with the next round, the second round of action next Monday. Collins is on second. Bob Musial will now pinch hit. We were wondering where Musial was in the lineup. Long Bob, 6'3", Bob Musial at the plate. His brother, Emil Musial, by the way, a star outfielder for the New York Giants, just across town. 1-2. Fly ball, center field. Demeter gives chase. He'll make the catch. And now it's George Pipgriss, and Pipgriss will remain in. So Miller Huggins, the skipper for these 1927 Yankees, electing to keep Pipgriss in and not go to the bench again. Kind of think in some ways maybe you're better off leaving that 8-hitter in the order and then pinch hitting for Pipgriss in the 9 spot. But instead, Jumpin' Joe Dugan is out of the contest, and that is tough because he's one of the best defensive third basemen out there. Drysdale from the stretch. 2-0 pitch. Popped up shallow right field. And the first baseman, Hodges, camps underneath it for out number 3. The Yankees strand another runner, and through 7, it's the 1959 Dodgers 4 and the 1927 Yankees 2. I don't think we have a wireless mic, Michael, though your name, I guess, would suggest maybe you know something about mics. No in-play or in-game interviews, unfortunately. If we try to roll out cable for that, people would be tripping all over themselves. Wally Moon, your leadoff man. We're in the 8th inning now. This is the 64 of the greatest baseball teams of all time entering this tournament. And each round is a best of 7. Wally Moon to lead off here in the 8th. Moon skies this on the infield. See who's going to call for this one. It will be the third baseman, the new third baseman. Julie Wera will be the new third baseman. Gil Hodges at the plate here. 1 out in the 8th. He'll deposit a base hit to center, and Gil will take a big turn, and he'll be content with a 1-out single. Hodges is aboard for Johnny Roseborough. Roseborough has a sacrifice fly in this one. He pops us to shallow right field. Second baseman Lazzeri is there for out number 2. Now Don Zimmer committed that error out in the field at second base. Works the count full. 3-2. Zimmer swings to that offering, grounds right to second base, and that'll do it. Quick 8th inning. We go to the bottom of in New York with the 27 Yankees trailing by 2. Tony Lazzeri will lead off as we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. We're about an hour and 25 minutes into this broadcast, which means we're closing in on the maximum amount of drops if you were here from the start of the stream. Lazzeri, Combs, and Gehrig, probably the best chance for the Yankees to get on the board with Babe Ruth in the offing as well. Don Drysdale, pitch count still relatively low in the mid-80s. It's at 85. Throwing an absolute gem against these 27 Yankees. And Drysdale works from the windup. 1-2 pitch is grounded to short. Easy play made by the shortstop Wills. 1 down. Now it's Earl Combs. 1 hit and 3 at-bats so far. Combs playing semi-pro baseball with the Louisville Colonels to the New York Yankees in 1924. Fierce bidding war for his services. Wound up getting $50,000 when all was said and done. And Combs, sometimes the Kentucky Colonel doesn't get enough credit in that Yankee order, but I want to draw your attention to this. 231 base hits, 23 triples. Both league-leading figures in 1927. So while Babe Ruth was clubbing 60 home runs and Lou Gehrig was driving in 175 runs, don't forget about the man at the plate, the Kentucky Colonel, Earl Combs. First pitch on the way to Combs. Pops this one up in foul territory. Roseboro, the catcher, will make the catch near the railing. 2 down. Now the Yankees starting to run out of opportunities. Lou Gehrig is aboard with nobody on. Here's your 2-2. Lou Gehrig. Ground ball, right side. And the 27 Yankees go quietly in order in the 8th. At the end of 8, the 1959 LA Dodgers up 4-2. Trying to speak it into existence. George Pipgras on for inning number 9. Looks like Miller Huggins, despite everything, would like to let the right-hander go the distance. 10-game winner in 1927. 10 wins, 3 losses. Pipgras getting the Game 1 start. It is a best-of-7 series. Games 1 and 2 being played here in New York at Yankee Stadium. Games 3 and 4 and 5, if necessary, will be played across the country in Los Angeles. Don Demeter, who has already driven in 2 of the Dodgers' 4 runs thus far. Demeter grounds this to first. Lou Gehrig will make the play unassisted. 1 down. Pitcher Don Drysdale now at the plate. So all indications are that Drysdale will, in fact, go the distance against these 1927 Yankees. 3-1 pitch on the way to Drysdale. He grounds this to third. The new third baseman, Guerrero, will make the play. Drysdale retired. And now it's to the top of the order for the Dodgers and Jim Gilliam. Here's the 0-1. Gilliam pops it up. And the shortstop, Koenig, makes the catch, and that will do it. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the 27 Yankees, the top seed, trailing by 2. '27 Yankees trailing as we begin the bottom of the 9th. It's game 1 of a best-of-7 series, I beg your pardon. Babe Ruth will lead off. We're in the bottom of the 9th. The top-seeded 27 Yankees trailing by 2. Don Drysdale trying to go the full 9. 8 innings, 5 hits, just 2 runs. Count is full, 3-2. Babe Ruth takes it inside for ball 4. So Ruth is aboard. That brings up Ben Pascal, who represents the game-time run. Drysdale, 107 pitches now, will pitch from the stretch. 1-2 pitch. Pascal with a fly ball, center field. That one is going to go for a base hit. Ruth is heading for third, and it's a stand-up double. And just like that, the Yankees have 2 runners in scoring position. One more look on your replay. Good drive to center field. Good chase. He closed the gap pretty quick. Did Demeter. Cut it off. Could have been a triple in this ballpark. Pascal with a stand-up double. Pascal on second. Ruth on third. Pat Collins at the plate. Infield will play back. They will concede the run. First pitch on the way. Ground ball right side. They will hold the runners. So Ruth, not the most fleet of foot, stayed on third despite a ground ball to the right side. Boy, that was a big out. So Ruth remains on third. Pascal on second. Game time run is in scoring position. Mark Koenig at the plate. First pitch to him. Koenig lifts a fly ball, center field, and Ruth will come in to score. It's an RBI single. They'll send a second runner, and he'll be out by a country mile. Pascal is out at home. It wasn't even close. One more look. Gotta wonder why you wave in the runner here with 1 out. Boy, he was not even halfway down the line from third. Koenig is into second on the throw home. It's now a one-run ball game. And now it's a pinch hitter, Ray Morehart. Morehart played 2 seasons for the White Sox, setting a record for most hits during a doubleheader with 9. They need just 1 hit from their pinch hitter, Ray Morehart, to tie this one up. Crowd on its feet here at Yankee Stadium. It is rocking. Drysdale looks in for the sign from Roseboro, trying to close this out and take down the 1927 Yankees. From the stretch, Morehart. Ground ball, shortstop, slow roller. This is going to be a tough play. Throw to first in time. And the Dodgers hang on. They take down the 1927 Yankees. Your final tonight from the Bronx, LA 4, New York 3. Woo!